Enter.
Excuse me, please, lady.
Yes, what is it?
I'm coming here to be learning the English.
You're early.
Oh, no, I'm Ali.
I beg your pardon?
My name is Ali Nadim. I'm coming here to be learning the English.
Ah, yes. You wish to join our new class, English as a foreign language.
Yes, please. And I'm hoping to be unrolled.
Hopping to be unrolled?
Like it say in your syllabus.
You mean hoping to be enrolled?
That is what I said. Hoping to be unrolled.
Yes, well, I'm afraid you cannot be enrolled until the English teacher arrives. Now, she should be here in a few minutes. In the meanwhile, perhaps you would care to wait in the classroom. Go down the corridor, turn left at the bottom, and wait in room 5. Understand?
No.
Well, let's start again. You go down the corridor.
Down corridor.
Good. Turn left.
Turn left.
Right.
But you are confusing me. Left or right?
It's left. Look, you just go down the corridor, turn left, and wait in room 5. Room 5.
Ah, now I'm understanding you. Room 5.
Yes.
Jolly good, thank you.
Enter.
Mrs. Courtney?
Miss.
Oh, sorry. I'm your new teacher, Jeremy Brown, B.A., Oxon.
You're a man.
Yes.
Well, this is most unsatisfactory. This won't do at all.
Well, I assure you my credentials are impeccable.
Academically, perhaps. I'm talking about sex.
Oh, I also assure you my morals are perfectly respectable, too.
I'm referring to the fact that you are a man. I distinctly requested the local authority to send me a woman teacher, especially in view of what happened with Mr. Warburton.
Mr. Warburton?
Yes. He was teaching English to foreign students last term. I'm afraid he only lasted a month. Then he departed.
Dead?
Demented. Yes, the strain was too much for him. Typical of the male sex. No stamina. Always seemed to be able to cope at first, and then one day he just snapped. It was really quite disgusting.
Really? What did he do?
Climbed out of the classroom window onto the roof, took off all his clothes, and stood there stark naked, singing, "I've got a lovely bunch of coconuts."
Very distressing. Well, there's no need to worry on my account. I mean, I'm not likely to climb out of the classroom window.
I know you aren't.
Oh, thank you for your confidence.
It has nothing to do with confidence. We've had the window frames nailed down.
How very thoughtful. Well, I really would appreciate the job, Mrs. Courtney.
Miss
Courtney. I am qualified, and I rather do need a job, what with the economic situation and inflation.
All right, there's no need to whimper. You can start immediately.
Thank you.
On a month's trial.
Thank you.
If you last that long.
I'll do my best. Where will I find my students?
Class 5, down the corridor and turn left.
Right. I'm looking forward to meeting them. I'm sure we're all going to get along extremely well.
Well, Mr. Brown?
Yes, thank you. Apart from one attempted murder and a possible race riot, I seem to be coping reasonably well.
Well, what I really came to inform you about was the registration fees for the students.
Ah.
Now, it's £5 per head, and I should be grateful if you would collect the money and bring it to my office in your tea break.
Right, I'll do that.
Well, we have one thing to be grateful for anyway. Sex won't be rearing its ugly little head.
Beg your pardon?
Well, in my experience, it isn't race or religion that causes the problems. It's usually the presence of some foreign beauty. Jealousies, intrigues, all that sort of thing.
Yes, well, looking at my class, I don't think we'd be too bothered with anything like that.
Enter.
Mrs. Courtney.
Miss.
Miss. I just brought the registration fees for the students.
Ah, good. Now, how many students have you?
9.
So there should be £45 in there.
Well, that all depends upon the rate of exchange.
I don't want
Not all of them had £5 in English money, so I collected £29.50 in sterling, and the rest is made up of 2,000 yen, 3,000 lira, 250 pesetas, 75 drachma, 50 francs, and 12 Deutschmarks. According to this morning's financial papers, that should give us a profit of £1.42½p.
Then I suggest you take it to the bank in the morning and convert it to English currency.
Right, I'll do that.
Oh, by the way, how's the femme fatale?
Ah, yes, Danielle. Well, at the moment she's in the tea room with Italy, Spain and Greece trying to establish diplomatic relations.
Well, I hope she's not going to cause any bother.
Oh, no, I'm sure she won't. Ah, Mrs Courtney. Miss. Well, I've just dismissed the class for the night. I think we've just about covered all there is to for the first session.
You look a trifle under the weather. Job getting you down already?
Oh, no, I'm fine. Never felt better. There's just one thing, though.
Yes?
That window you nailed down, the one Mr Warburton climbed out of.
What about it?
I think we ought to put a few more nails in, just to be on the safe side.
Excuse me, young man.
Sí, señora.
Are you in Mr Brown's class?
Por favor.
Mr Brown's class. Brown. Mr Brown?
Ah, sí. Juan Cervantes. Para servirla, señora.
Yes. But are you in Mr Brown's class? English is a foreign language?
Por favor.
Are you really as stupid as you look? Never mind. Ah, excuse me. You are in Mr Brown's class, aren't you?
Auntie?
But are you or aren't you? Doesn't Mr Brown teach you anything?
Por favor.
You.
Yes, please, Missy. Can I be assisting you in any way whatsoever?
Last a breakthrough. Are you in Mr Brown's class?
No, I am in corridor.
Do you think you could give him a message?
Most certainly.
I am Ms Courtney.
And I am Ranjit Singh.
Just at this particular moment, I'm not really bothered who you are. I just want you to give Mr Brown a message.
I'll be very happy to comply with your request.
Would you tell him I would like a word with him?
Most certainly. Which word would you like?
Just say I want to speak to him. Foreigners.
Actually, you're late.
1,000 apologies for this unforgivable tardiness. But we are all unavoidably detained in the corridor by a lady.
Sí, sí.
Do I take it, Juan, that you understood what Ranjit was saying?
Por favor.
Oh, sorry. Who was this lady who detained you in the corridor?
Oh, blimey. I am forgetting her name. She was big lady, very large bosoms.
Grandioso. Very good.
Yes, well, while you're trying to remember her name, perhaps you'd better sit down. Right. Yeah. Now, I hope you've all done your homework. Yes.
Excuse me, please. I am remembering the name. Ms Courtney.
No, Ms Courtney.
Yes, absolutely.
The lady with the large bosom.
She's wanting to see you.
Yes, well, she'll just have to wait.
Squeeze me, please. She's already waiting.
She may be the principal, but I have a class to teach. Now, as I was saying about... Miss Miss Courtney. I was just on my way to see you, actually.
That's not the impression I got.
Yeah, well, I shan't be a moment,
Oh,
class.
it's all right, don't bother. I merely wanted to tell you that you can expect another student.
Oh, jolly good. More the merrier.
You're not here to make merry, Mr. Brown.
No, it was just a figure of speech.
Well, you better try teaching a few figures of speech to your students.
Yes,
They
well,
seem to be in need of it.
I'm doing my best.
Huh.
Miss Courtney.
Yes?
This new student, what nationality can I expect?
African.
Oh, African. Thank you. Right, now, you remember I asked you all...
Mrs. Courtney.
Miss.
So sorry. I'm Roger Kenyon from the Education Authority.
Oh. Oh, they told me they were sending an inspector round, but I really didn't expect.
He would be black.
He would be so young.
My apologies. But the authority likes to check that the standards of the evening classes are up to par.
I can assure you that my standards here are well over par.
I'm glad to hear it.
Well, Mr. Kenyon, if you'd like to come with me, I'll show you round.
No, please. I'd rather just wander around on my own if you don't mind. I usually get a much clearer picture that way.
Oh, I've got a message for you. From her ladyship.
Oh, lady who?
Miss Courtney. She's been in here and she wants to see you.
Yeah, I know what she does want.
Yes, Mr. Brown?
You want to see me?
In my office, immediately. Enter. It has taken you 2 minutes, 38 seconds exactly to come to my office immediately. I'm glad I didn't ask you to take your time.
Well, I'm sorry I was detained.
Well, I thought I'd better tell you that an inspector has arrived.
Oh, my conscience is clear.
I beg your pardon?
Well, apart from the odd parking ticket, I've never had any trouble with the police.
An education inspector.
Ah, I see. I'm sorry. How stupid of me.
Yes. Well, you'll probably want to call in on your class.
Oh, well, don't worry. I'll deal with him.
You don't deal with inspectors from the local authority, Mr. Brown. You cosset them and flatter them and agree with everything they say.
Yeah, well, I'll do that as well.
I expect he'll want to see your register.
My register?
You do have a register.
Oh, that register? Yes, of course.
Oh, well, you better call it as soon as you get back to your class.
Right.
By the way, while you're here, the local authority want me to fill in a few details about you on this form. Now, I've got your name.
Yes.
Address.
Yes.
Sex.
Occasionally.
Marriage.
Sorry. No. I was engaged once. Matter of fact, I proposed marriage, but it didn't really work out. There was quite a lot of opposition.
A father.
No, a husband. I didn't realize she was married at the time.
What do you do during the day?
Oh, well, nothing at the moment, I'm afraid. I'm waiting for a suitable position.
And what was your last position?
Well, I was teaching at a secondary modern school, but I left. I couldn't stand any more beatings.
Well, I didn't think teachers beat children anymore.
Oh, they don't. It was the other way round.
I think you better take this form and fill it up yourself and bring it back to me later.
Right.
And do be careful what you say to the inspector.
Oh, of course. Oh, by the way, the new student has arrived.
You won't forget to add the name to the register, will you?
Kenyon. Yes. Ah, Ms Courtney, I'm just completing the register and getting the details of our new student before that inspector chappie pokes his nose in.
No. Mr. Brown.
I shan't be a moment, Miss Courtney. What is your job?
Inspector.
Oh, what, local transport?
Local Education Authority.
Ooh. I thought he was the new student.
The new student is a female.
Is she? Well, you didn't tell me that.
Oh, my apologies, Mr. Kenyon, and I do assure you that Mr. Brown will be severely dealt with.
I can't remember when I last enjoyed myself so much.
I beg your pardon?
Enjoyed yourself?
You know, Miss Courtney, your Mr. Brown is a remarkable man.
I am?
He is?
Yes. His teaching methods may be somewhat revolutionary, but they appear to work.
I have always encouraged my staff to be forward-thinking.
I'll pass on your comments to the authority. Perhaps they revise their textbooks. Now, if you'll excuse me, I must put in an appearance at the other classes. Oh, keep up the good work, Mr. Brown, and thank you very much for the coffee.
I'll come with you, Mr. Kenyon. Quiet, please. Now, where is Mr. Brown?
Mr. Brown not alive.
Oh, this is too bad. He should be here.
You wanna give Mr. Brown a massage?
I presume you mean message.
Collect.
No, thank you. No, I shall wait until he arrives. It will give me an opportunity to find out how much you have learnt. Which is precious little, I suspect.
But, madame, we learn a lot from Monsieur Brown.
Right, quiet now, quiet. Very well. Let's see if we can find out how much you've learnt from Mr. Brown. Can anyone give me a sentence containing the word, catalyst?
Catalyst?
Well, come along, somebody. Catalyst.
Por favor, señora.
Yes?
In my country, Spain, most of the people are Roman Catholics.
I don't believe it.
That's not right.
No?
Italy's a much bigger catalyst country.
Quiet, please. Good evening, Miss Courtney.
It's almost good night.
Yeah, well, I'm sorry I'm late. I was detained at the paper shop.
Mr. Brown, I know the times are hard, but do you have to deliver newspapers?
Oh, no, I bought them. They're for the students as part of their education.
Well, they certainly need some education.
Yes. Well, good evening.
What is going on?
What is going on?
What is going on?
Yes, well, I'm talking to this lady.
Why is she here?
Well, she's talking to me.
Why is she sitting in the corridor?
Why is she sitting in the corridor?
Must you repeat everything I say? woman wasn't pregnant yesterday.
I am noticing windows very dirty, so I'm cleaning them for you. I like very much cleaning windows.
In the pitch dark. Now come in off that window ledge at once.
Most certainly. 1,000 apologies.
What is going on in here? Where is Mr. Brown?
Oh, he will be here any minute. He's coming from the tea room.
10 minutes is the normal time allowed for tea, Mr. Brown.
Yes, of course. We were discussing parts of speech.
Well, in future, I'd be obliged if you do it in the class.
Certainly.
Now then, how are your students coming along with their English?
Oh, extremely well.
Good. Then I shall stay and listen for a few minutes.
Ah.
But don't worry, I shan't interfere. I make it a practice to drop in on the classes from time to time to see what sort of progress is being made.
It's beef stroganoff in the cookery class tonight.
Are you trying to get rid of me?
No, I just thought you might fancy a bit. I mean...
Well, I don't, so will you please begin?
Right. For the rest of this period, we're going to talk about shopping.
Oh, I like him. He's very good. Shopping. I like his polonaise. Bum ba bum ba 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 bum
Oh, Giovanni, that's Chopin. He must have misheard me. No, we're going to talk about shopping, buying things. Now, I have here various items which at some time or another you'll all probably have to purchase, so I'm going to hold them up and ask you to identify them, and we'll see how well you do, all right? Who shall we start with? Ali.
Yes, please.
What is this?
Apple.
Yeah.
Lovely. Jolly good.
You're not supposed to eat it.
Oh, I'm most sorry. I only had a small bite.
May as well finish it now. Suli, what is this?
It is orange.
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 That's better.
You really must work at those R sounds.
I try very hard.
Try saying, round the rugged rock, the ragged rascal ran.
Round the lugged lock, the lagged rascal.
Yes, you're going to have to keep practicing. Anna, what is this?
Paper bag.
Yes, but what's inside it?
I do not know. I cannot see inside.
Well, it's flour. You know what flour is.
Yeah, what you wear at a wedding.
No, it's not that kind of flour. This is flour to make pastry and bread.
Ah, Weissmehl.
Yes. Jamila? What is this?
Gajar.
Yes, I'm sure you're right, but what is it in English?
अंग्रेजी में नहीं पता.
Have you never heard of a carrot?
Carrot.
Yes, carrot.
Oh, हाँ. Horse and carrot.
Incredible.
No, Jamila, that's horse and cart. This is a carrot, right? Who can tell me what these are?
Fish fingers.
Good. Well done.
Excuse, please.
No, Ali, don't say it.
What do I not say?
You were going to say something about fish not having fingers?
Yes, please.
Yeah, well, don't bother. Max.
Tomato.
Good. Taro.
Potato.
Potato.
Ah, so.
Giovanni.
Lima juice.
Good. Juan.
Cow juice.
No. Milk.
Ah, sí, milk.
Do you know where we get milk from, Juan?
Sí, señora. The milkman.
Quiet, please. We get milk from cows.
Sí, vaca, cow.
Ranjit.
Cornflakes?
No oats.
Oats? Ah, That is oats. My friend, who I am working with, every morning he's telling me last night he's having his oats. He's telling me he's liking them very much.
Yeah, I'm sure he does. Who can tell me what this is?
Bacon.
Good. And where does bacon come from?
And the milkman.
Bacon does not come from the milkman.
Every week I buy the bacon from the milkman.
Pig. Pig.
Pig? You are calling me a pig? You are a pig, you Italian ravioli.
Ah, shut your plates of meat, you Uncle Milk.
All right, that'll do. One, what Giovanni was trying to say is that bacon comes from a pig.
Sola!
Now, can anyone tell me what we call a pig after it has been killed?
Yes, please. It is a dead pig.
No, Ali, you know that's pork. Right. What is this? Anybody?
Tin of meat.
Yes. Well, actually, it's a tin of dog meat.
Oh, blimey. You are putting dogs in tins to eat?
I think I've heard enough.
They are better than they were.
They could hardly be worse.
She's absolutely right, you know. Some of you are very behind with your English. I mean...
I hope you haven't dragged me down here on a wild goose chase.
I'm telling you, I definitely saw them.
It's most inconvenient.
It's not my fault if I lost the key of the front door.
Of course it's your fault, you silly little man.
Ah, at last. Ms Courtney, how nice to see you.
I'm afraid I can't return the compliment.
Come on, home you go.
Good night. Sorry about all that.
Come on now, quickly. Hurry up, good night. Good night, quickly.
I'll go and see if there's anybody else about.
I really am very sorry.
I should hope you are.
Hope it hasn't inconvenienced you.
Well, of course it's inconvenienced me. I was quite happily curled up in bed with Daphne du Maurier.
I am really sorry about this. Oh, I've...
Now what's the matter?
Well, I've left my shopping in the
Well,
club.
for heaven's sake, hurry up and get it.
Thank you.
For heaven's sake, are you going to take all night?
No, I'm just putting these things
Well,
away.
do hurry up. Sid? Sid! Sydney! For heaven's sake, we're locked in.
Oh, well, we mustn't panic. We can last out till Monday morning. Have a carrot. Let's have a sing-song, shall we? Shall we start with Daisy? You know how it goes. Daisy! Ah, Ms Courtney.
What on earth is going on in here?
Well, we were just having a few practical lessons.
What in? Unarmed combat?
Oh, it might come in useful.
Oh. Well, I'm afraid your students will have to do without you for a little while. You're wanted down at the police station.
The police station?
Well, there's no need to look so guilty. It's nothing you've done. It's about one of your students, the Indian lady.
Oh, Jamila. What, has something happened to her?
Yes. She's been arrested for shoplifting. See, Mr. Brown is not back? Now, what are you doing at the moment?
We are studying our English grammar.
Good. How far have you got? Let me see your book.
Giovanni, Ms Courtney would like to see your book.
I want to see your book. Thank you. The Affairs of a Call Girl.
I thought it was about the adventures of a telephone operator. Honest?
A likely story. Well, until Mr. Brown returns, I shall take the class.
Signora, where are you taking us?
I am not taking you anywhere. I'm going to ask you a few questions on general knowledge.
Hello.
Now, first of all, can anyone tell me who said to be or not to be?
Please, you just said it.
Yes. But before I said it, who said it?
Excuse, please.
Yes?
Chairman Mao.
It may come as a surprise to you to know, but other people wrote things besides Chairman Mao.
Chairman Mao liked everything.
Well, he certainly didn't like right to be or not to be. Now, does anybody know?
William Shakespeare.
Correct.
Excuse, please. Who is this William Spearshake?
Shakespeare.
1,000 apologies.
Are you not familiar with Shakespeare's works?
Is it a big place?
Is what a big place?
These works of Shakespeare.
I am referring to the things he wrote.
Ah, scusi.
Now then, can anyone tell me what the population of England is? Miss Smith?
Yeah, English.
Not any longer. However, what I really meant was how many people are there?
I do not know. I have not counted them.
Well, let me ask you a simple question. Mr. Nagazumi.
Ah, so.
Can you tell me how many peas there are in a pound?
Depend on size of piece.
I think you had better all go back to studying your books until Mr. Brown returns. You surely can't be much longer. Oh, hello, Dad. Is everything locked up?
Yes, Miss Courtney. By the way, I don't suppose you could give me a lift.
Oh, I'm sorry, Gladys. I'm not going straight home tonight. There are one or two things I want from the supermarket.
Oh.
What are you doing here?
Yeah, well, I suppose you could say it was an extracurricular activity.
Sir, excuse me. He's stuck.
What are you doing with that jar?
Try to get it out.
Yeah, well, it's a long story, Miss Courtney. I'll explain later. Let me give you a hand. Pull.
Now, look here, Sergeant. It was obviously just a misunderstanding, and I see no reason why you should pursue this any further.
I'm sorry, madam.
Miss, if you don't mind.
Yes. Well, I'm afraid I shall have to make a report out on this affair.
Oh, look, couldn't you just forget it ever happened?
No.
Well, I'm sure your police charity fund wouldn't say no to another contribution, Sergeant.
Well, we're always grateful for anything, sir.
Shall we say another £5?
That's very generous of you.
Yeah, right. Right, come along, everybody.
Just a moment, Mr. Brown. Where are you going? I've not made out my report yet.
Yeah, but I've just given you £5 to forget it.
Oh, no, sir. You very kindly donated £5 to our charity fund. It wasn't meant as a bribe, was it, sir?
No.
Good. Now, let's take a few names. You, madam. Sorry, Ms.
Courtney.
Thank you.
Good evening, Miss Courtney, or should I say Mother?
Please don't remind me of last night's unfortunate incident.
Sorry.
I hope you've explained to your Indian lady the difference between free and free offer.
Oh, yes, she understands it now. Don't worry, it won't happen again.
Excuse me, I'm looking for a Jamila Ramjet.
Are you thinking what I'm thinking?
I hope not. Why do you want, Jamila?
Well, she ordered a mini bike from us a month ago and she hasn't paid for it. We sent her 3 invoices.
She actually ordered the bike?
Oh, yeah, she sent in the coupon, look. Here it is.
Oh, no, she's done it again. 7-day free trial.
Excuse me, her ladyship wants to see you in the office.
Oh, thank you, Gladys. I'll be in a moment. All right.
Hey, maybe she's going to get you a birthday present.
Yes, and maybe the Pope's getting married.
Enter.
You wanted to see me, Miss Courtney?
Yes. Oh, I understand it's your birthday.
That's correct. Another milestone?
Personally, I don't believe in celebrating birthdays. I fail to see how the passing of years can be an occasion for rejoicing.
No, of course, you're right, I suppose.
Now, Mr. Brown, when you commenced teaching here, I said that I would give you a month's trial.
Yes.
Well, that month is now up, and I feel it only fair to put an end to your worry about the future.
Well, that's very kind of you. I can assure you, you won't regret it.
I know I won't. Ms Hardacre will start on Wednesday.
Miss Hardacre?
Yes. She will be taking over your class. You remember I did tell you that I prefer women teachers.
You mean I've got the push?
Well, let us just say that we no longer require your services. I feel that Miss Hardacre will be much more suitable.
Yeah, well, in that case, I suggest you get Miss Much More Suitable Hardacre to take over tonight, because I'm going home.
You can't just walk out like that.
Oh, yes, I can. And I won't say it's been a pleasure, because it hasn't. All I can say is, in India, you'd be sacred.
I thought you'd gone.
Yeah, I was just collecting my things.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Now, as you are no doubt aware, Mr. Brown is no longer with us.
Yes. It is making us very sad.
Yes. I have telephoned your new teacher, Ms Hardacre, and she will be arriving shortly. In the meantime, I shall take the class. Now then, let's see how you're progressing. You with the turban. What is this?
Pencil.
It is not a pencil.
It's looking like a pencil to me.
Let's try again. What is this?
A finger.
Didn't Mr. Brown teach you anything?
Yes, please. He's making us work like the clippers.
Clappers.
Oh, clippers or clappers. We are working very hard.
Yes. And we are all very sad he has gone.
Quiet now, please, quiet. It is really no concern of yours. I'm sure that you will find Ms Hardacre more than efficient. And after all, a woman can do everything a man can do.
Not everything.
I was speaking academically.
Excuse me, Miss Courtney. There's a person out here who wants to see you.
What sort of person?
Well, I'm not sure.
Ms Courtney?
Yes?
Hardacre.
Oh. I thought they were sending me a woman.
I am a woman.
I do beg your pardon. It must have been the... Well, perhaps you'd like to come to my office and have a cup of coffee.
No time for coffee. We must get started. Crack the whip, show them who's boss, keep them on their toes, and by the look of them, they need it.
Beautifully put. But I think we ought to have a little chat first.
Oh, very well.
In the meantime, you can go on studying your books.
Don't talk.
I think I've got it off now.
Well, I'll be sending you the bill, of course.
I thought you might.
Well, I wouldn't mind that coffee now.
I'm so sorry, I've drunk it all, but you'll find the tea room down the corridor.
Tea room? Tea room? You don't expect me to queue up with all those students? Oh, no. While I'm teaching here, I'll take my coffee in your office. Black, no sugar. Now, while I'm here, I think I'll have a look at your prospectus. The little I've seen, you could do with a great deal of reorganization.
Who is it?
It's me, Gladys, with your coffee and biscuits.
Right, come in.
You look harassed.
I am harassed.
I suppose it's that new teacher, isn't it?
Yes. The foreign students haven't spoken a word since Mr. Brown left, with the result that Ms Hardacre is spending her time reorganising the entire school. She's already reduced 2 of the other teachers to tears, and she's caused the caretaker to hand in his notice. It's only a matter of time before she takes over my job.
Well, why don't you get rid of her and ask Mr. Brown to come back?
I can't do that.
Why not?
Well, not after having dismissed him. I have my pride. Mind you, if he asked if he could come back, I'd be only too happy to accept.
Ask to come back?
But we miss you.
Look, when I got your message to call here, I thought it was for something serious.
But we are serious.
Yes.
If you ask her, Miss Courtney, she's going to have you back.
Yes. No, I'm sorry, it's out of the question. If she wants me back, she'll have to ask me. Now, if that's all there is, I'll say goodbye.
Oh, Mr. Brown!
Hey, Mr. Brown!
Oh, I was just seeing something.
I was just going to look in on your old class.
I was wondering... Sorry.
After you.
No, after you.
Well, I was just wondering whether you'd consider coming back.
I was just going to ask you if there was any chance of coming back.
That's settled then.
I thought you preferred women teachers.
I do. But Miss Hardacre was more masculine than most men I've met. Well, do you want your job back or don't you?
Oh, yes.
Good, you've got it. Mr. Brown?
Hello, Ms Courtney.
Why are you creeping about?
Well, I didn't want to disturb you.
Very considerate. And perhaps you wouldn't mind creeping into the office for a moment. I want a word with you. You may sit. Now, Mr. Brown, the other evening, after everyone had gone, I went into the gentleman's toilet.
Oh, I'm sure that was a perfectly natural mistake.
I went because the caretaker had complained about the graffiti on the walls. And, Mr. Brown, it is just not good enough.
Oh, I don't know. I thought some of it was rather witty.
It was disgusting. Someone had written Enoch Powell rules OK.
Yes, well, with all due respect, I'd hardly call that disgusting.
It was what was written underneath that I found most objectionable.
Oh, what was that?
Ms Courtney is crackers.
Yes, well, it may not have been one of my students who was responsible.
There certainly was.
How can you be so sure?
Who else but a foreigner would spell crackers, K-R-A-K-K-E-R-S?
Well, I'll see it doesn't happen again.
There's just one more thing, Mr. Brown.
Yes, Miss Courtney?
In a few weeks' time, your students will be sitting for their lower Cambridge certificate.
Yes, and we're all looking forward to it. I'm sure we're all going to pass with flying colours.
And you have more faith in them than I have. Now, here is a set of last year's examination papers. I suggest this evening that you set them a mock exam and see how good or otherwise they are.
We were having our photograph taken.
I was not aware that photography was included in the curriculum.
Yes, well, would you all sit down, please? And, Danielle, would you stand up?
But what about our photo?
Yeah, well, we'll see about that later, all right? Go and sit down. It was for her parents.
I just came to bring you the answers to last year's examination papers.
Thank you.
Huh. Mr. Brown, your students have been at it again.
What? Not more graffiti?
No, not this time. Read this.
Young virile male student wishes to meet nice lady from cookery class for evenings of mutual pleasure. Apply Maximilian Papandreou.
Kindly inform Mr. Papandreou that the notice board is for official notices and not for procuring young women.
Right. I'm sure his intentions were quite innocent.
Evenings of mutual pleasure?
Yes, well, he probably only wanted her to whip up an omelette.
Well, tell him to whip up his own omelettes.
Right, I'll have a word with him.
See that you do.
Your coffee, Ms Courtney.
Thank you, Gladys. Oh, by the way, Mr. Brown, how is the mock examination coming along?
Oh, well, we haven't started it yet. We're going to get cracking just as soon as we've finished our tea break.
Well, I do hope that the results will be good. Otherwise, I shall have to think about axing the course.
Axing the course? You wouldn't do that, surely?
I most certainly would. It would be a complete waste of time for them to carry on and sit for an examination they have no hope of passing. Thank you, Gladys. You looking for somebody? Is Mr. Brown in the classroom?
No, Mr. Brown is in the tea room. Down the corridor and on your left.
I am familiar with the geography of this building.
Sure.
Would you mind moving?
What for?
I wish to enter the classroom.
But Mr. Brown is in the tea room.
So you have already told me, but I wish to wait for him in the classroom.
Okay, Miss Courtney. You want to go into the classroom, Miss Courtney? I will open the door for you, Miss Courtney.
I am not deaf. Oh, Mr. Capello, all ready for taking your exam?
Sure, all ready.
Good.
Ah, Miss Courtney, did you want me?
No, I just thought that I would supervise the class during their mock examination.
Yes, well, there's no need to do that. I'm quite capable of doing it myself.
Mr. Brown, when the students take their real exam, you will not be allowed to stay in the classroom, never mind supervise. It's a precaution against any attempt to cheat.
Cheat?
Yes. It has been known in the past for an over-enthusiastic teacher to provide his students with the answers.
Really? How contemptible.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, you have exactly 1 hour to complete this paper, starting from now.
Excuse me, please, Miss Courtney.
Yes?
Can I spend a penny, please?
All right, but hurry. You don't need to take your exercise book with you, do you?
Just maybe I think of an answer, so I write it down.
Well, come along, Mr. Nadim.
Yes, please. Where do you go along to?
We are not going along to anywhere. I just want you to get started on the answers.
I'll do my best. Excuse me, please.
Yes.
Toilet, please.
Very well, but don't be long.
I'll be very quick.
Would you like to go to the toilet, Mr. Brown?
No, not at all.
Everyone else has been.
Yes, well, it's probably the cold weather.
We have another 5 minutes, Miss Schmidt.
I'm finished.
Oh, good. Then I'll take a book. Has anyone else finished?
Yes.
Splendid. Now collect up your books and I'll take them. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Gracias.
Thank you. I shall take these home with me tonight and mark them personally.
I do hope they've done reasonably well.
So do I. Otherwise, it's the axe.
Oh, blimey. You're chopping his head off?
Only metaphorically. Oh, you have about 2 minutes, Miss Chung.
Not necessarily. Finished.
Thank you. Now, good night, everybody. I shall see you all tomorrow.
Oh, just a minute, Miss Courtney. Won't you need the answers?
I shan't need them, Mr. Brown. However, I might as well take them. It might speed up the marking. Oh.
Is something the matter?
These are the wrong answers. Oh, these aren't the answers to last year's paper. They're the previous year's. I must have picked them up by mistake. Oh, I suppose last year's answers must still be in my filing cabinet. Are you feeling all right, Mr. Brown? You look a little peaky.
No, I'm fine. Never felt better.
Mr. Brown?
Good evening, Miss Courtney.
Mr. Brown, I marked your students' examination papers last night.
Yes, well...
Unbelievable.
I can't explain.
Everybody answered every question correctly.
You see what happened? What did you say?
Everybody answered every question correctly.
Good Lord.
I told you it was unbelievable.
It was positively miraculous.
See for yourself?
But these are the answers you gave me last night.
That's correct.
But you said they were the previous year's answers.
Yes, but I discovered last night that I had also given you the previous year's questions. Congratulations, Mr. Brown. Your students are a credit to you. Excuse me, Mr. Brown. Do you mind if I intrude for a moment?
No, not at all.
Well, the school is holding a draw next weekend, and I'm selling tickets for it.
Excuse me, this drawer you are selling tickets for?
Yes.
What sort of drawer is it? Is it from the dressing table or what?
It's not that sort of drawer, Angie.
It's a raffle.
1,000 apologies.
Now, it's in a very good cause, the old age pensioners. Tickets are 10p each. Who's going to buy some? Well, what about you, Mr. Singh?
Thank you very much, but I must decline.
But it's for the old age pensioners.
Yes, but what am I going to be doing with one if I win?
The pensioners are not the prizes.
1,000 apologies again.
The first prize is a weekend for two in Paris.
Oh, I'll take one. I wouldn't say no to a weekend in Paris.
Why not we share the ticket together? Maybe we can share the weekend too.
That is immoral.
Oh, but it's very nice.
I am sure that Mr. Brown wouldn't dream of doing any such thing. Would you, Mr. Brown?
No, of course not.
I think I'll leave these tickets with you. Do you think you can get rid of 2 books?
Well, I don't...
Excellent.
Excuse, please.
Sorry, we are late.
We are delayed because of the reason of mist.
Mist?
Yes, please.
It's a perfectly clear night. How can you have been delayed by mist?
We missed the bus. Then we had to go to the dressmakers for a fitting.
You're not having a dress made.
You're not Ari, me.
She's having a dress made for wedding.
Wedding? You mean you're getting married, Suli?
Yes, next week at Legislative Office.
Well, I must say, you kept rather quiet about that.
Oh, blimey.
Enter.
Finish with your tray, love?
Yes, thank you, Gladys.
Well, tomorrow's the big day, then.
What big day?
You know, the wedding. Ali and Sue Lee.
Oh, that. Yes. I had a long talk with that girl last week about her future.
Oh, that was nice.
However, in spite of all I said, she's decided to go through with it.
Well, there's nothing wrong in getting married. You ought to try it.
I am perfectly happy as I am, thank you.
Miss Courtney?
Yes.
Can I be a bit personal?
If you must.
Have you never been with a man?
What do you mean?
Well, you know.
Certainly not. I prefer a hot water bottle. At least you can hold it against you without it getting amorous.
Have you never wanted to get married?
Well, There was one occasion, many years ago, a boy I was very fond of. In fact, we were inseparable. He asked me to elope with him.
Oh, how romantic. And did you?
Almost. We set off one morning for Gretna Green, but I'm afraid we never quite made it.
How far did you get?
Golders Green. My father caught up with us and dragged me back home. Oh, he forbade me to see the boy again. Said we were far too young.
Oh, what a shame. How old were you?
He was 8 and I was 6.
Still, never mind, dearie. I know there's someone somewhere waiting for you.
Then you'll have a very long wait. I have no intention of subjugating myself to any member of the male sex.
Ah, so I take it you think women are equal to men?
Certainly not. Women are far superior.
So you won't be at the wedding tomorrow?
No. I have better things to do with my time than go and watch two people embarking on such a foolish enterprise.
Oh, well, I'm going. I love weddings, and I think they'll make a lovely couple. Brown? Mr. Brown, you're wanted straight away. It's Ms Courtney. And she said it's very important.
Oh, thank you, Gladys. I shan't be a moment. Giovanni, would you take charge of the class while I'm away?
Sure.
Good. And pick a subject.
Okay, now we talk about the girls.
Enter.
You sent for me, Miss Courtney?
Yes. Oh, this is the teacher, Mr. Brown.
I am hearing much about you.
Oh, I hope it's all good.
This young lady has called to see Mr. Nadim.
Oh, Ali, you're a friend of his, then? Where's,
I've sent her to the tea room.
Oh, good. Well, I think it might be a good idea if Ali and I were left alone. I presume you'll speak to Miss Sully?
You presume wrong. I think Mr. Nadim should do his own dirty work. Just a moment. Where do you all think you're going?
To the car.
Mr. Brown, this is most unsatisfactory.
Well, I agree.
Well, what are you going to do about
Well, there's
it?
only one thing I can do. If you can't beat them, join them.
Yes? How dare you, you dirty old man! Hello.
Hello.
Whoever you are, you ought to be ashamed of yourself.
It's me, Jeremy Brown.
Well, what are you doing, making obscene phone calls?
I'm in bed with Flo.
In bed with who?
Flo?
Well, this is most inconvenient. Typical of the weaker sex. I shall expect you to be better by Monday. In the meantime, I suppose I shall have to take your class. Now, what is the meaning of this?
It's to improve our English. We learn all the English dances. We are learning to be twisters, to trot like foxes, and to mash the potatoes.
Yeah. Also, we learn English phrases like, do you come here often? And who is taking you home tonight?
There are more useful English phrases to learn than those. Now, will you kindly tidy up this mess and sit down at once, all of you? And hurry. I have to tell you that Mr. Brown will not be with us tonight. It appears that he has a virus.
Oh, is that his girlfriend?
He has the flu. He is laid up in bed.
Excuse, please. How can he be laid up in bed? Surely you are meaning he's laid down.
The term to be laid up means the same as being struck down.
Panayamu! What a language!
There is nothing wrong with the English language. It is the most widely spoken language in the world. Does anyone know the origin of the English language? Well, come along. Where did English come from?
England.
Not quite. The early Britons were Celtic.
From Glasgow. There's Glasgow Rangers, Glasgow Celtic, football.
I was not referring to football. I was talking about the race.
No, it's not a race, it's a football. I see them play Inter Milano in the cup.
Now, don't contradict me. And if I have any more of your stupid remarks, I shall send you out of the class. The Celts were a race of people. Then came the Gauls.
You see, I was all right. You have the Gauls in football.
All right, Mr. Capello, I did warn you. Kindly leave the class.
Where do I go to?
Well, I suggest that you go home and study your books. Now, where was I?
You were standing there, and you are still standing there.
Silence! Now take heed, because I shall not tell you again. Anyone who persists in uttering idiotic nonsense will be sent home. Now, the Romans invaded Britain in 43 AD. Can anyone tell me what AD means?
After dark.
Right, Mr. Nadine. Come along, off you go.
What am I going for?
Don't argue, just go.
Excuse, please.
Out. To continue, AD means Anno Domini, which refers to time since the birth of our Lord. The time before his birth we refer to as BC. Does anyone know what BC means?
Before Christmas.
Okay, I go.
The Romans were supplanted by the Angles, Saxons, and Jutes, who brought with them a new language.
Excuse, please.
I thought I told you to go.
Yes, I go, but I come back. You are wanting on the telephone. Mr. Brown is wishing to speak with you.
Oh, very well.
Excuse, please.
No. Anna?
Yeah.
You will take charge of the class in my absence. I shall not be long. And don't stand for any nonsense.
Do not worry. I shall be standing for nothing. I shall be sitting down.
Hello.
Oh, hello, Ms Courtney. I just wanted to tell you that I got all the students' homework here. Perhaps if you could send someone round to collect it.
We do not have a messenger service, Mr. Brown. Are you sure you're too ill to come in?
Well, yeah, I still feel pretty groggy. I mean, besides, I wouldn't like you to catch my cold.
I never catch cold.
I expect the germs freeze to death instantly in your...
What was that?
Oh, nothing. No, look, I'd better hang up. If you want the homework, it's here.
And where is everybody?
They are giving me stupid answers, so I sent them all home.
What are you doing here?
I warm bed for Master G.
It's all right, Miss Courtney. She means she was just warming a hot water bottle for me.
Mr. Brown, it is highly improper for this young lady to be here alone with a man.
Ah, well, I can assure you, Miss Courtney, that nothing improper is taking place.
You say it was an accident.
Ha, accident. Danielle spilled milk on her dress.
Oh, I see. It appears that for once I have misjudged Mr. Brown. Well, I suppose I had better call in and apologize on my way home. Mr. Brown?
Hello, Miss Courtney.
This is disgraceful.
No, please. This is Congo.
Silence. I suggest you all leave immediately.
Oh, thank you all for visiting. It made my noon time really pleasurable.
Good evening.
As for you, Mr. Brown, words fail.
Oh, come on, Miss Courtney. They're only coming here to cheer me up a
I
bit.
warn you, Mr. Brown, that if this sort of thing ever occurs again in the future, you are out.
Mr.
Brown! Looking for someone, Mr. Cervantes?
Por favor.
Never mind.
Excuse me, Mr. Brown.
Ah, hello,
Ms
Gladys.
Courtney wants to see you in the tea room.
Ah, all right. I'll be as quick as I can. Giovanni, would you take charge of the class while I'm away?
Si, professor.
I think you better come too, Pedro.
Por favor.
Miss Courtney's found your fishy friend.
Are you going to answer me? Look, what is your name? Who are you and what are you doing here?
What seems to be the problem, Miss Courtney?
This is. I just came in here and found him. Well, he seems to be some sort of foreigner, but I can't get a word out of him. Is he one of yours?
No, I'm not.
Well, you can find out what he's doing here. After all, you do seem to have a way with these foreign persons.
Oh, I'll do my best. Hello? What is your name? Name?
Excuse me, Mr. Brown.
Ah, what is it this time, Gladys?
There's another one turned up.
Another what?
A Rusky. I've shown him into Miss Courtney's office.
I am Captain Ivan Ivan.
Are you?
Da. And you are Mrs.
I am Miss Courtney.
A fine woman like you has no husband?
No.
I am understanding you prefer to have the lovers.
Certainly not. Now, will you please get to the point?
I have reason to believe that one of my men is here.
Really?
Oh, come, Mrs. Courtney.
Miss.
Miss. We both know he's here. He must come back to the ship and return to Russia.
That is for him to decide. Enter.
Wish to see me, Miss Courtney?
This is Captain Ivan Ivanovich. Mr. Brown, our English teacher.
How are you doing?
Yes, very well, thank you. I welcome you to England. You and your compatriots are perfectly safe here. Don't have to go back to Russia if you don't want to.
Mr. Brown.
Yes?
The captain has no wish to stay here. He has come to take back the other person.
Ah, but you can't do that.
Why not?
Well, he doesn't want to go back. He's met this girl, you see, and they want to get married.
No, it's impossible. We are only being here for the one night.
Well, it was love at first sight.
No, people do not fall in love at first sight.
People do.
I tell you, he cannot be getting an English wife.
Why not?
Because he already has a Russian one.
Saying that he's already married?
To Anastasia.
Well, this puts an entirely different complexion on the matter. I'm afraid we have no alternative but to return your roving shipmate. Will you see to it, Mr. Brown?
Very well.
You are a woman of great perception as well as being beautiful.
Oh, thank you.
You are reminding me so much of your great national figure.
Oh, yes, people have said I resemble the Queen.
No, not the Queen. British Bulldog.
Captain, you wanted to see me?
Yes, Mr. Brown, could I please have a word with you?
Yes.
Will you please speak on my behalf? Now, please, will you do this one thing for me? Please.
Yes, leave it to me.
Thank you, Mr. Brown. Thank you.
Enter.
Miss Courtney, we've got a bit of a problem. Captain Ivanovich is outside.
Oh, don't tell me his compatriot has escaped.
Oh, no, Boris is safely on his way back to the ship.
Well, then why has the captain returned?
Well, he wants to defect. You see, he says, like Boris, that he's fallen heels over head in love.
Oh, these foreigners are impossible. I tell him to go away. His infatuations have nothing to do with us.
Yeah, well, I'm afraid this one has. You see, he says he's fallen in love with you.
Little English bulldog. You must love you. I am loving you, Mrs. Courtney.
You say that Mr. Brown is engaged to his French student?
That's right. I heard her tell Mr. Jarvis in the tea room.
Well, this is absolutely disgraceful. I think he might have had the decency to tell me first.
Tell you?
Yes. It's most inconsiderate.
Oh, dear. I'm sorry. I didn't know.
Didn't know what?
Oh, nothing. I must be getting back.
Oh, Gladys, did you say anything to Miss Courtney about Danielle and me?
Oh, only in passing.
Oh, great. I better go and check it.
I didn't mean any harm. I'd no idea she felt that way.
What way?
About you.
What are you talking about?
Oh, unrequited love.
Pardon?
You and her ladyship. She fancies you.
Oh, don't be ridiculous.
Yeah, oh, it's true. No, she was very upset when she heard about you and Danielle.
Gladys, I don't know where you've got this ridiculous story from, but you are completely mistaken.
Oh, no, I'm not. I heard her.
What? You mean she told you that she fancied me?
Well, not in so many words, but I knew. It was written all over her face.
I can't believe it.
Yes, oh, it's not unusual, though. Oh, lots of older women fall for younger men. My sister ran off with the 30-year-old milkman.
Really? How old was your sister?
65.
But Ms Courtney's always given me the impression that she didn't like me.
Oh, well, women are very funny. And she's at a funny age.
Yeah, you can say that again.
Well, the best of luck.
Thank you. Come to think of it, you're not far off it yourself.
Enter?
Miss Courtney.
Well, well, if it isn't the college Casanova.
Yes, well, I've come to explain about that.
Are you sure you can spare the time?
It's a complete misunderstanding, you see. I'm not really engaged to Danielle. She only said that to stop one of the teachers from pestering her.
Really?
Oh, it's perfectly true. The chap who takes the woodwork class was trying to shut her up.
Mr. Jarvis?
Is that his name? Well, I've never met him. Anyway, she concocted the whole thing just to get out of an embarrassing situation.
I see.
I'm terribly sorry. Especially in view of, well...
In view of what?
Yeah, well, I hardly like to mention it.
Well, you have mentioned it, so you may as well continue.
Well, let me say right away that it's a perfectly natural thing to happen.
What is?
Well, for one person to be attracted to another despite a difference in their ages.
To what two persons are you referring?
Well, you and I.
You and I?
Yes.
Oh, Mr. Brown, I'd no idea you felt like that about me. Well, as you said yourself, it's perfectly natural. Oh, you poor dear boy.
Oh, no, Miss Courtney, you don't understand.
Oh, but I do. Men have always found me rather fascinating.
Yeah, I'm sure they have. Look, let me explain.
Now, there's no need to apologise for the way you feel.
Yes, but
Of course, it's out of the question.
But, Miss Courtney, please.
Now, don't start grovelling. Don't get over it.
Yes, I suppose I will.
And now I suggest you go and squash this foolish rumour about you and your French fiancée.
Right, I'll do that. Thank you.
And Mr. Brown.
Yes, Miss Courtney?
Don't worry about this other little affair. I shan't tell a soul. Your secret is safe with me.
You're very kind.
Poor fellow. Ah, just the two persons I wanted to see. What's all this I hear about a fight?
It's just a private matter between Mr. Brown and myself.
Nonsense. It's common knowledge throughout the whole school. Now step into my office, shut the door behind you, and take heed, for I shall not tell you again. I will not have members of my staff brawling in public. I absolutely forbid it.
You do?
Most definitely.
Oh, good. I mean, what a pity. I was quite looking forward to it.
That's not the impression I got.
Do you mean to tell me that you were actually looking forward to this fight?
Oh, yes. Besides, there was a point of honour at stake.
What point of honour?
Well, this person insulted Miss Danielle Favre. He forced his attentions on her.
I see. Male chauvinism, eh, Mr. Jarvis?
Well, why not? Women like to be dominated.
Nonsense.
Oh, come now, Miss Courtney. Man is by nature the hunter.
Oh, well, this puts an entirely different complexion on the matter.
It does?
Yes. Much as I abhor fighting, I feel that under the circumstances, perhaps your motives were justified.
No. We can have our little punch-up in the yard.
Certainly not.
Oh, thank goodness.
You will settle your differences in a much more civilised and sporting manner.
Oh, I quite agree. How about a game of chess?
The school has a perfectly good gymnasium. If you must knock each other about, I suggest you do it there tomorrow night after class. Where is Mr. Brown?
He's just putting his gloves on. Oh, here he comes.
Ah, good evening, Mr. Brown.
Good evening, Miss Courtney.
Headache?
No, thanks. I've already got one.
You like a couple of aspirin?
Oh, I think I need a drink, actually.
Well, strong black coffee might help.
Yeah, a double scotch might help a bit more. No, I need a break. A nice, quiet 10 minutes away from my students will do me the world of good.
Sid, your father? Are you sure?
afraid so.
What did he say when you told him?
Well, I haven't told him yet.
But you must.
Oh, I don't know. Some things are best left alone. I mean, after all, it was a long time ago. Nearly 30 years.
The truth, Mr. Brown, must be told.
Do you think it's wise? I mean, it's a bit of a shock to realise that you're related to someone so rough and vulgar.
Oh, nonsense. I'm sure Sid will soon get used to you.
Thank you.
You know, come to think of it, and looking at you now, there's quite a resemblance.
Sid and me?
Yes, especially the profile. Like father, like son.
Oh, dear.
What about your mother?
Yeah, what about her? According to Sid, she sounds a right old dragon.
Well, I think it's very romantic. Enter.
I just brought the stockroom key back. Sorry, I'm not protruding, am I?
No, Sidney, of course not. Quite the opposite. In fact, your presence here is most opportune.
Oh.
Mr. Brown has something to say to you, haven't you, Mr. Brown?
Yes.
Well, I'll leave you two alone.
What do you want to say, son?
Silence! This is disgraceful. 10 minutes past 7 and Mr. Brown has not arrived.
Oh, but you're mistaken. He's here. Isn't he, Anna?
Yeah. That's right, he's always early.
Yes, please. Tonight he was here so early that he was here 10 minutes before he arrived. He's just gone out.
Oh, and where has he gone out to?
Toilet.
I beg your pardon.
Tea room.
Would you like to try again?
What they mean is, first he goes to the tea room, then the toilet.
Yeah. Oh, Ms Courtney, sorry I'm late.
Oh, but you're not.
Really?
According to your students, you were here all the time.
Ah, yes, well.
Well, where exactly were you?
But we told you.
I am asking Mr. Brown. Well?
Ah, yes,
And what is going on?
I don't know, but from their sign language, I think they're trying to say that I was having a cup of tea in the toilet. Actually, Miss Courtney, I'll tell you the truth, I am late, and the reason is this. I just popped across to the pub for some cigarettes, was mistaken for a waiter, bought 2 drinks for 2 people I'd never even met before, was called a peasant, and finished up by pouring a glass of lager over a gentleman's head.
You're an even bigger liar than your students. I would have thought that you would have made an effort to be early this evening. After all, it is your last chance to teach them something before they take their exams tomorrow.
Yes, Miss Courtney, you're quite right, as usual.
Not that I think any of them have the remotest chance of passing.
Right, come on, sit in your places, please.
Mr. Brown, can you spare a moment, please?
Certainly. I suggest you all study your verbs until I return.
As you know, another teacher will be taking the exams tomorrow.
Yes.
Now, the gentleman who used to be the principal of this college will be supervising your class. He's in the office now, and I thought it might be a good idea if you met him.
Oh, I'd like to.
Do try to make a good impression. It does no harm if he is favourably disposed towards you. This is our English teacher, Mr. Brown.
Oh, yes, Miss Chutney?
You reek of drink.
Beg your pardon?
Drink.
If you insist, I'd like to drop with you a sherry.
You've had more than enough already.
Oh, thank you.
Oh, have you finished?
Yes, please.
How do you do?
Oh, I'm very well. How do you do?
I mean, how did you get on with your exams?
Oh, but we hope we haven't let Monsieur Brown down.
Ms Courtney.
Would you care for a sherry before you go?
Oh, I'd be delighted.
Do sit down.
It takes me back, here in the old office. Oh.
I expect you miss the hurly-burly of school life.
Yes, I sleep nights now.
There we are.
Oh, thank you. You know, Miss Courtney, I didn't know that you indulged.
Well, I don't really. Just the occasional sherry.
Oh.
Ready for another? Cheers.
Good health. Well, I really must be going. I'm meeting my wife.
Oh, just one moment before you go, Mr. Short. How do you think the foreign students got on with their exams?
terrible. And the Chinese lady was writing backwards. Of course, I don't know how they answered their other questions, but if what I saw is anything to go by, then I shall be very surprised if any of them passed. Goodbye, Ms Courtney.